Hello, it's Gitanjali again here from High Definition You, and I am thrilled to be joined today by Shermeena Rabi, who is going to share with us her story of success over the last 3 months. Welcome, Shermeena.
Hi, Geeta.
Can you tell us all a little bit about your story? Who are you professionally and personally in the world?
Sure. I'm Shermeena. I am founder of Unlocking Language. We provide independent speech and language therapy across London to adults and children. I'm pleased to say it's a successful business. We've got about 28 therapists that work for Unlocking Language. I started it about 7 years ago. And in that time, I also have had 2 little boys, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. And the husband is now fully involved in the business as well. It's a bit of a couple venture now. One that I thoroughly enjoy. It's got the social impact, which I love. And I love the challenges of the business. And also in that time, we've sort of moved out of London onto the outskirts.
So lots going on when we came across each other. You know, you've got a big business, you're the founder, you're the CEO, there's now 28 people working for you, you've got a young family. What were you struggling with before we started our coaching program? What was it that you felt like you needed help with?
I'm very grateful for the life I have, my home, my family, my business. And I'm very lucky that I have my family in my life. But I think when I met you, Geeta, I felt that I was always playing catch up with everything, catch up at home, catch up with the children, catch up at work. And when you're in catch up mode, there's just a natural tension that doesn't leave you. Your mind's constantly distracted, and that's how I felt. I was always distracted. So even when I'm having quality time in the park with the children, there's part of me that's thinking about work and about the contract and the client and what's going on with my team. What do I have to cook when I get home? Lots of things going on in my mind. And I just felt I didn't have very clear boundaries between work and home. And I know that's quite difficult in general to have, but when you're running a business, you never stop working. You're working all day and all night. You have emails, phone calls. And I felt with 2 young children, I wanted to have better boundaries. So I wasn't as distracted. I could really give them my time. So I felt for me, life was quite chaotic at times. I was trying to do a lot of things and I wasn't always in control. And there was some strain that was naturally impacting on my personal life.
That level of tension, as you say, was there kind of consistently, isn't it? It just becomes the new norm in a way. When you were making the decision to invest in the coaching program, what went through your head? You know, what kept you from saying yes straight away, if anything?
Well, I needed to learn how to quiet my inner critique and protect myself, care time, protect my family time so that I could develop a more resilient entrepreneurial mindset. And so when I spoke to you, I felt that was what I was going to achieve after I engaged in the coaching program. That's what kind of sort of
was going through your mind. Was there any resistance? Were you like, will I have enough time? You know, how much is it? Was there anything where you sort of thought, oh, is this right for me?
Yeah, absolutely. So time was a big factor, because I think if you're going to engage in coaching, you want to be able to have time not only to do the session, but to implement what you're learning in the session or what's being discussed. And I suppose because it was just the beginning of lockdown, it was good timing for me. And I had that time to self-reflect and think I really want to make a change to my life. So definitely time was a factor. And also I think having the opportunity to implement what you learn in coaching. So you learn these strategies and tools that you've provided us with, but if we're not really implementing it, then there's no point to the coaching. You've got to sort of be coached, be ready to be coached, and to carry out the strategies and end up with the sort of behavior that you want, or the consequences you're looking for. So yeah. Definitely.
And so what did change then? What does your life look and feel like now professionally, you know, as a leader, and then, you know, possibly personally as well? What's changed?
I'm more at peace with myself, which is huge, because before as you said, there's a lot of BMW going and a lot of rabbits talking in my mind. And now I'm at peace throughout the day, whether I'm at work or whether I'm at home. And that's made me better at managing my emotions. I'm able to also separate emotion from decision making, which is really important when you're a CEO of a company and you've got to make quick decisions, or decisions that can make an impact on so many things. And I feel I can make that decision more level-headed now rather than using all my emotions. I've also definitely got a better boundary between life and work. So for example, now I can actually leave my phone upstairs for 3 hours, which was one of the goals that I wanted to work on, have that time between 5 and 7. And on a Saturday when my battery's low, I'm actually glad. I'm like, oh yeah, that's glad. That's great. And I'm not going to charge it because I want to spend that quality time with my family and not be interrupted or be tempted to pick up my phone or check the emails. And I've not been able to do that before. So that's huge because that impacts everyone in my family. And I think I've also got to see myself more clearly. You've given me the skills to be able to question the assumptions that I made about myself. I've become more curious. I've learned that I've sort of grown in different ways, and I've learned new ways to respond. So that's been huge. And then that has an impact on my productivity, on my leadership, on being a mum. So yeah.
Amazing. And tell me a little bit, we talk a lot through the program about aha moments, and it's been wonderful to see them in you as you've developed. Can you take us maybe to one of those aha moments, or to a moment, Shermeena, when you knew that the coaching was working?
I think there were a few moments when I realized I've behaved differently and I'm not having a physical manifestation. So sometimes when you're stressed and really tense, you feel your heart pounding, you can feel your blood rushing, you're sweating. We all have those sort of symptoms because we didn't want to say that, or I wanted to say something else. And then as a CEO, the pressures are even huger. So I started noticing that I wasn't having those physical manifestations that were making me really nervous when a meeting had taken place, or I'd said no to one of my employees and didn't feel like I needed to explain myself any further. And that's when I realized I physically feel better, and that's then not allowing me to think about it constantly. So that was huge for me, because that has happened quite a lot in the past, and then I end up thinking about it all evening and it ends up being dinner discussion, and I didn't want that anymore. So for me, that was a huge aha moment.
What is it then about the way that I work and with the high definition method that really has allowed you to get those results?
You get it. You use strategies that are really practical, and you work on the mindset, and that's really important, because even before we can start implementing things, it's the mindset that we need to work on, and we need to prioritize. You've helped me to prioritize myself and to see who I am and to accept these are my weaknesses, what can I do, and these are my strengths. And we're always going to have weaknesses, but what can we do to what can we do to have the best possible outcome, the BPO, which you use. And that's huge, because I can now. Right, sorry, Geeta, I've totally lost my track.
It's okay. You were talking about the BPO. Like, that's the thing, is prioritizing yourself and that mindset bit, which is true, which is that thing of actually, what am I focusing on here? What's the best possible outcome before you even think about the strategies, right? It's where's my mind going, I think, is what you're saying, right?
Do I need to say more, or do you feel that's enough?
No, that's good. No. Oh, we could talk for hours. No, that's brilliant. I think that's really crucial, isn't it? That is fundamental to the way that we work, is the mindset bit plus the strategies piece. You were also part of that group coaching program, and some people do one-to-one, some people do group. What really surprised you or delighted you about that particular aspect of the way that we work together?
I loved the group program. I thought it was a brilliant way to to undergo the coaching, because this was the first time that I had coaching. And for many years I've been thinking about it, but I suppose I haven't had the courage to do it, or I've always made up excuses. So I feel that being in a group, there were so many things that people would say that would resonate with me. I think it also gave me courage to be able to open up more and to be more honest about how I was feeling, because everyone else was doing it. So it felt like a very safe forum. It gave you a sense of belonging to a community where you know that no one's perfect. Everyone has things that they need to work on, and lots of other people are having the same thoughts as you. You're not the only one. So I think knowing that others share that sense of insecurities at times and doubt it was nice in a sense that I realized it's just not me, and I could talk about it out aloud, because so many of us have so many thoughts, but there's no one that you can really speak about it with. So that was lovely, having the group format. And also sometimes when you're in a group setting, if you're having a one-to-one, you might forget to mention a few things, but then someone else has mentioned it and it resonates with you. And also if someone has gone through that experience, then they've spoken about how they went through it. And that's quite nice, because having you there to facilitate that discussion is great, but it's good to see what people have practically done who've gone through the same situation, and then share the journey, and then share what works and what doesn't work the following week. So being able to sort of work with each other on a weekly basis was great.
And you were great actually in terms of the accountability piece as well. I know that you and your accountability buddy, you became really structured about it, which was great to see, because it really accelerated your success, that I could see that transformation happening, because you were really dedicated to each other and stuck to that structure, which I know will continue as well. How would you summarize then, to kind of bring it, to a close, around where you were at the beginning of this process and where you would say you are now, in one or two words?
I think I was, dare I say it, but cynical with many things, and also suspicious. So when I use the word suspicious, it's because I'm questioning things quite a lot and not perhaps seeing the positive side of it, all the negative side of it. So yeah, suspicious and cynical. And now my number one word from coaching has been resilience, because I feel I've developed a sense of resilience that I use throughout my day, both as a mum, as a CEO, as a team leader, as a leader of a company. And I'm so pleased that I've developed a sense of resilience, because this is something I can pass on or develop with my children, with my teams. It's such a wonderful attribute to feel.
So if someone's being inspired listening to you, moving from that kind of suspiciousness around other people to really resilient in your relationships, and they're thinking about investing in coaching for themselves, what advice would you give them, Shermeena?
Well, if you're considering to take the step, I would say just do it. Say yes first and then think about it. And I think everyone has the right and the courage to honor their dreams. And I feel High Definition has allowed me to do that. There's so much now that I'll be able to achieve and that I aspire to, because I feel I'm equipped better than I was 6 months ago. So yeah, have the courage to honor your dreams and go for the coaching with High Definition.
I love that. Thank you. And I am so thrilled to have seen the epic transformation from, as you say, that kind of palpable stress at the beginning to really seeing you really drop into that amazing leadership that you now are exhibiting, and all of the changes that you make. It has truly been my privilege to be a catalyst for that transformation, and we're going to continue on in the community anyway. But I just wanted to say thank you. I'm grateful for you, and thank you for sharing your story today.
Thank you, Peter.